Human development is largely influenced by membership in crucial social groups that shapes various aspects of our lives, from belief systems, values orientations, and behaviors. At the beginning of life, one already belongs to a social group, his or her family. It is the most pervading influential social group that impacts the self in its entire course development. Next to family is school and the general academic environment. It forms a significant part of the social self. Worldviews expands as one gets exposed to more people in different social learning environments. Aside from one's family and school environments, communities also shapes one's social self to a large extent. From an anthropological and sociological perspective, one's cultural beliefs and practices are influenced by what communities and societies dictates. So moreover, the social self inevitably changes as one accommodates and eventually assimilates beliefs promoted by the society as he or she thinks, appreciates, and behaves according to standards set by micro and macro systems.
Culture. According to Edward Tyler, year 1871, culture is the whole complex which includes knowledge, belief, law, art, moral, custom, and other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. Based on this definition, one can conclude that culture has a great impact on a human being, and this is manifested in his or her thoughts, behavior, and expressions.
Today, I am going to discuss to you the biological system theory. The first one is microsystem. Microsystem refers to the institutions in social groups that the individual has direct contact and interaction with, including families, peers, schools, religions, institutions, and the immediate community. Second one is mesosystem. Mesosystem refers to the interconnections among aspects of the microsystems affecting the individual. One of programmatic example of this would be parent-teacher associations or PTA. Third one is exosystem. Exosystem refers to the social setting that an individual has no direct interaction with but nevertheless affects his or her development. An example of this could be the work setting of one's parents, where a major company decision that results in the loss of job. 4 is mesosystem. Mesosystem encompasses the larger cultural context in which the individual resides in. Example of this would be the Philippines as a third world country, where there is a notion that life can be better when one works abroad. 5 is chronosystem. Chronosystem focuses on patterns of environmental events, including socio-historical events, from a specific event to a general context. For example, a social events which push forth active citizenship also influences the social is a very vital way.
Individualism collectivism model proposed by Hazel Rose Marcus and Shinobu Kitayama. Individualism as an orientation focuses on one's individual attributes and personal distinctives. People who are individualistic are observed to be competitive and self-reliant.
One behavior when he or she is alone differ from his or her behavior when he or she is with others. This is what Herbert Mead's 1934 postulated in his theory of the social self. I, which is known as the unsocial self, and the me is known as the socialized self. According to Mead, I and social self, me and a social self, I refer for who an individual really is. It is one opinion of him or herself as a whole. Me also as a social self, it is an awareness of others expect one to behave. This differs different model of represent idea on the process of the self, social development. Moreover, individual differences should always be considered and respect and should always be frustrated among one another.
With the rise of technology, ways of socializing have significantly changed. One of the innovations that improve people's interaction and socialization processes is social media. Social media is defined as the websites and applications that make it easier to create and share information, ideas, and interests. Through the use of social media, people may act differently since interaction in social media does not happen face to face, and there is no physical presence required. This is called online disembodiment. With this, people are less likely to display their real selves to others, especially to strangers.
People generally have role identities. These are the characters and roles an individual creates as a member of a particular social group. Following this definition, the self is composed of identities ranked by importance. The greater the commitment of an individual to a particular identity, the greater the importance of this identity. In an online environment, one's role is vitally important in order for him or her to project himself or herself in the said environment. Online activities such as chatting, blogging, and even shopping online would require the person to establish a digital identity, which is defined as an identity a person claims in cyberspace.
Online disinvasion effect. According to Salary year 2004, when people adopt fake identities, they are likely to engage in behaviors that they would not do in real-life interactions. There are two main categories that fall under online disinvasion effect. Number one is the Benny disinvasion. Refers to people tend to feel safer saying things online which they not say in real life. And lastly is the toxic disinvasion. When you have tendency to act meaner that you would in real life, you might say things that are more hostile or hurtful than you would in person.
Cyberbullying happens because of individuals who display irresponsible and inappropriate online behavior. It is important to regulate online behavior. So today, I am going to give you some suggestions on how to manage online behavior responsibly. These are the following suggestions. First, do not post or send anything that will embarrass you. Second, avoid posting statements when experiencing strong emotions. Third, do not hang out with the wrong crowd online. Fourth, do not hang out with the wrong crowd offline. Fifth, be careful with oversharing, especially confidential information that may be used irresponsibly. And lastly, respect other people in the online community. By following these suggestions, one can foster and project a healthy digital identity that positively impacts his or her social self.
The self in a material world, people are likely to purchase products that can relate to their personality. Material possessions signify some aspects of one's sense of self and identity. For example, most millennials have laptops and cell phones, and are familiar with different technological innovations because of their inclination to be immersed in the digital, which follows the idea why they are known as digital natives.
Section 1 explored the impact of social groups, families, and educational institutions on human development, emphasizing the importance of social interaction and learning environments in shaping belief, value, and behavior. It also discussed the culture dimension theory, which provide a framework for understanding cultural differences and similarities. Herbert Mead's theory of social self distinguish between the unsocial self and social self, aiming for the congruence to actualize the self, recognizing individual differences and fostering respect and crucial for successful social development.
Reflecting on the social digital self, I see how technology has intertwined with our identity. Our digital persona can be a curated version of ourselves, shaped by online interactions. The online disinhibition effects add complexity, often leading to behaviors that differ from our offline selves. Managing responsible online behaviors is important, balancing with authenticity with disinhibition. It's about being mindful of our digital footprint and the impact of our actions online.
In this section, this is where the needs and wants are being valued by the society. The needs that are important for survival, like food, shelter, and clothing, which are being purchased out of necessity. Meanwhile, wants, which is being synonymous of luxuries, are being purchased for reasons that do not want necessity. Possession of material things also indicates one's status in the society. These personal choices build one's material and economic self, which is an extension of his or her social identity. This idea suggests that through these objects, people assert their identities. Aside from contributing to how an individual identifies himself or herself, it also signifies relationships of people with others based on what material things they possess.
Turn it magical. When she'd say